in the 90s or the late 90s to the early 2000s, the superhero genre of films wasn't as prominent as we have it right now. But we had the Blades, which sort of kicked off to, start, or more like a resurgence of the superhero genre. I've been had some in the 80s or the 70s with the Superman and the Batman. Superhero sort of had a rebirth again when the X-Men universe started, and one of the iconic figures that became known for, for what it is or was the Wolverine character, even within the ensemble of the X-Men universe. And one actor became so synonymous with the character that it was quite difficult or impossible or inseparable from the character, and that is none other than Hugh Jackman. And following the successful release of Deadpool and Wolverine just a couple of years ago, well, we never even thought that he would return to play that role, since he died, or his character died, in the Logan movie released in 2017. So it became much of a surprise when finally Hugh Jackman said he was returning. And well, we thought that after this, perhaps he may, retire his claws. Well, on in an interview that he granted to Entertainment News for the is it a Graham Norton show, Hugh Jackman was asked whether there is any possibility, is it really final now that he will not be returning to that particular role? Well, it looks like he has changed his tune now to something else, and I would like us to take a brief read at it. So this is what Hugh Jackman had to say in the I don't know whether it's showing. Okay, but let me just take a quick. So this is what Hugh Jackman had to say on that show, and let me quickly highlight the portion that he said. He said, "Every time you are, that is the host speaking. Every time you're on a talk show, you gotta go. Nope, I'm not doing that again. But then you keep making another one, and it's a big hit. So are you gonna have to do it again?" Jackman said, "Maybe I am never saying never ever again, but I did mean it when I said never the first time, until the day when I changed my mind. But I really did for quite a few years. I meant it." And this he said with regards to, hanging the clause a couple of years ago. Pardon me, it looks like I don't know what is wrong um, with my, the browser. The browser is not really showing up well, but pardon me for that. So this is what Hugh Jackman said on the Graham Norton show as to now changing his tune, that he's never going to say never to the possibility of playing the role of Wolverine if offered the opportunity. And I can understand that, because sometimes you feel you just have to hang their suits and focus on something else. But it looks like, I mean, inarguably, this has become one of his most successful franchise or IP ever. Seeing that Deadpool and Wolverine went on to clock over $1 billion, and that is one of Marvel's successful movies to date. And therefore, for all of us who know that the X-Men are returning big time in the Marvel's Avengers Doomsday, one of the names that was missing at the back of one of the chairs was Hugh Jackman, and speculations abound whether he's going to be in the movie or not. Well, this is not a confirmation that he's returning necessarily in the movie, but at least it gives us much hope that there is the very likelihood that it's going to appear in this film. If not, at least if not in this particular Avengers movie, we it really speaks, it really gives much hope that he may show up in Secret Wars, if not for the Doomsday in particular. And even for Doomsday, as we have it, there is a lot of characters who have not been mentioned yet, but we are now we are speculating that will definitely be revealed finally when that happens. And therefore, it is something that we are all waiting eagerly for next year when it finally releases. Even Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, even though was not mentioned to be showing up in this movie, there are speculations that he might. Recently, we had the story of Tobey Maguire being confirmed that he would be showing up in Avengers Doomsday. So there is going to be a lot of people showing up, and perhaps the three biggest characters that we're hoping we'll see in a movie together is Tony Stark's Iron Man. That is Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark. I don't know whether there's going to be an iteration of that character showing up in Avengers Doomsday, but we're hoping to see him play off against Tobey Maguire and then finally, Hugh Jackman. And it looks like it's going to be a dream come true finally when the movie is released come next year. So fans indeed are excited about this development that are happening, even though there's not been an official confirmation from Marvel themselves as to whether Hugh Jackman will be donning the cape or and putting on the claws for, Avengers Doomsday. With this new change of statement or tune from Hugh Jackman himself, it really is a strong indication that he may be in one of these movies, but he cannot go ahead to tell us straight away that he is starring in it. And I can understand it. He doesn't want to spoil anything. But fans, a lot of pundits are actually saying with surety that they cannot tell for sure from any source they have, but they believe so much that he will be showing up, especially seeing that you're going to have the likes of Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, Halle Berry, James Marsden, and uh, and the whole lot showing up. So obviously, if they are showing up, would they show up without their marquee, character being Wolverine showing up in the movie? So obviously, I know for sure that with this statement that he has made, it is indeed a high possibility. It is a high probability that he will be returning to don the cape and put on the claws for one of the Avengers films. If not for Doomsday, definitely is going to be for Avengers Secret Wars. And that is quite exciting to see. There are even speculations or rumors that he may actually don the cape for much longer, even beyond Avengers Secret Wars, just as others are speculating that Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom would also, Victor Von Doom may also go way beyond Avengers Secret War. So these are things that are just rumors at the moment, but there may be truth to it, seeing how iconic and instrumental Hugh Jackman's character has been in the X-Men movies and even in his first major appearance in the MCU proper. The movie made $1 billion. So there is the potential for him to be in the movies longer if when when used in any of the movies, he becomes very iconic or quite endeared to the audience. There is the higher possibility and potential that he may stay longer than usual. So we may have to wait patiently and see what will become of Hugh Jackman's character Wolverine in the bigger MCU. And honestly, I'll be excited to see him there just for the nostalgia reason of finally seeing all these characters that are connected finally being realized on the big screen aside the comic books that we know that they sort of they are interconnected. So to finally have Wolverine show up on screen alongside possibly a variant of Iron Man and played by Robert Downey Jr. and Tobey Maguire will be one. It will be one of the dream come true for some of us. That would be quite exciting to see. So let me know what you think. Do you think this indeed, for Hugh Jackman stating that is not going to say never to playing Wolverine again in the MCU. Do you think it is indeed time for it is actually a confirmation that he will be returning? And also, do you think it's time for him to actually stay away so that a new character would take his place? We know that Jake Schreier will be returning to helm the new X-Men. Do you think it's time for a new Wolverine, a new actor to step in the shoes of of Wolverine? Whatever your thoughts may be, kindly leave it in the comment section below.